the person who is the original creator of the idea, he benefits from rehearsing the idea. So that is rehearsed ideation.
So we were thinking about that we need a new partner. Keeps me motivating to find new business opportunities, and that's the reason why we are here in India, because I see a huge potential here. Some local partners, and the Rollcon was one of them. I feel that this partnership will be very successful. Our company Enelex was established in 1991.
Enelex is your reliable partner for the implementation of system solutions in the energy, mining, and mineral processing industries. We are based in the Czech Republic, in the heart of Europe. For each of our customers, we look for the most efficient solution that will ensure maximum economic and environmental benefits of the project. We manufacture special analyzers and automatic samplers for the mining and energy industries. Enelex production program includes GE's online analyzers, the automatic belt samplers, auger samplers, thermal imaging and camera systems. We also design coal quality management systems, CQMS. We are based in Czech Republic. We have been operating on the market since 1991.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Daniel. Welcome to India.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me jump straight into the questions. So, because all of our viewers and I personally am very excited to know the story behind Enelex, especially the one that you've shared with me, how your father has, brought Enelex into existence. So, could you just, tell us in detail how Enelex came into existence?
Our company Enelex was established in 1991 in Czech Republic, but as I told you, the company history goes to the 80s, because my father, he was working with his team for state-owned company Energostroj. It was before the Velvet Revolution. In our company, in our Czech Republic, was possibility to establish its own company after the Velvet Revolution, because we were a part of Soviet Union bloc. So during the 80s, my father has a task with his team to develop the system for online analysis of coal, and they work very closely with the technical people from the mines, technical people from the power plants, Czech scientists, the Czech specialists from the universities for the radiation. So they together develop this system for online analysis.
Wonderful. I think we get a sense of the accomplishment that Enelex has achieved in over these years, and I personally am more interested to know about the era when your father was into the job and just fresh out of it, and as you said, the revolution also had not taken place at that time. So what was he thinking when he ventured into doing his research on the online analysis? So what was the motivation?
Before the Velvet Revolution, my father and his team faced many problems, because during the Soviet era, there were some people who were in the management of the Energostroj company, and some of those people were not people with the technical thinking. And I can describe you one of those problems. They had in the facility of this Energostroj, and the storage for the material which they used for the developing of the laser was on the opposite side of this area. And they told them that it should be more close to their facility, so they can easily take some electric parts, test it. This doesn't work. Take another one.
Correct.
But they told them that it's not possible, and they had to have a special form for each part which they tested.
Okay.
So they needed to test 50 parts this day, next day another, and for each of them they need to have a special form. Signed from management. So it was very hard to establish something. So after the Velvet Revolution, my father was thinking with his team that maybe much more efficient would be if they will establish their own company. And also because he saw that without this analyzer, it is very hard to reach the stable quality for the power plant, especially. We had a lot of problems before that. That our power plant has a big fluctuation with the coal quality. So if the mine supply them with the lower quality, it doesn't burn well. If they supply them with the higher quality, it causes slugging on the walls of the boilers because it burns really fast. So and they saw that if the customer used the online analyzer for regulating the fluctuation of the quality to keep the stable quality in the boiler operation, it increased rapidly the boiler efficiency and decreased the air pollution. Because we work very closely with the end user, they usually tell us that they have some other issues, like that they need some sampling solution for commercial purposes. So we developed the sampling solution systems. They also tell us that they have problems with the self-ignition of coal. So we did the study how it starts, the self-ignition of coal, and how we can monitor it by thermovision system. And based on this, we developed those systems and implement them in their premises, and now they don't have such a problem. So this is our idea. We want to not just sell the equipment, but to help to solve the issue with the coal quality and with the safety, to bring the real benefits for the customer.
Great. Now let's move from your father and let's focus on you. So, Daniel, tell me, how did Enelex happen for you? Was that always the plan from your childhood that you want to join Enelex, or was this something that you decided later on in your life?
It was always the plan that I will join the family business. But since my childhood, it wasn't so clear that I will be responsible for a commercial part. I studied geology at the Charles University, so we were thinking about that maybe I will be the some part of developing team to develop some new technologies and so on. But after a while, my father found out that maybe I will be better for a commercial. So he hired me as a sales manager, and but he wanted me to have experience with everything, not with the sales only. So from the beginning, I was helping to our former commercial director with some administrative things, but I also was preparing the project documentation for our systems, because he also wanted me to have experience with some different companies. So I work for a construction business company, and also so some customer asked me if I'm experienced enough to promote our business activities, that I'm quite young, but for me, I was in a family business practically from my childhood, because I was traveling with my father in a car, and he was calling with some customer or something, and I heard everything, and I asked him how this equipment work, what was this call about. He showed me everything since my childhood, how they manufacture the analyzers. He was telling me about our references, about his trips in Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, in Africa. So I was keep asking him since my childhood about everything. So I know practically the whole company story since my childhood.
Okay, yeah. So that is great, because this is a concept that we call reflective ideation. So in which the person who is the original creator of the idea, he benefits from rehearsing the idea. So that is rehearsed ideation. But not only that, the people who live around that person benefit from the idea because of the reflective nature of those ideas. So this is an aspect which is very undervalued, but those who go through this, they know how important this is, because age would seem as if it is small, it's a smaller number. But ultimately, if you have, lived through those years, reflecting on those ideas which your father has, it becomes equivalent, if not the same, as what your father has. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, agree.
But do you ever feel the pressure that being the chairperson's son, if you make a wrong decision, that that would not only just reflect as Daniel's error, it might reflect as error of the owner's son.
Of course, I feel such a pressure. Also, from the day that commercial part is my responsibility. So I feel that if I will not find some new customers this year, we will not have such a big income, and we have a lot of employees who has mortgage. They have their family, so I'm practically responsible for them. So I feel this pressure, and it keeps me motivating to find new business opportunities. And that's the reason why we are here in India, because I see a huge potential here. In India, we were active many years back. My father was visiting India many times. But it's the only territory where we were not successful. We didn't sell any analyzers. So we were thinking about that we are doing something wrong. So we were thinking about that we need a new partner. So I wrote down some specification for this potential representative. For example, that they should have the references at some coal mines, coal power plants, and so on. They should have some manufacturing plant for steel parts and so on. And then they recommend me some local partners, and the Rollcon was one of them. In some countries, and also in the past in India, we had some experiences that we bring our idea how we should to do the marketing here, how we should promote our export activities. What is the for which part we should focus here, and sometimes those partners don't listen what we are telling them, and they have a different point of view, and we see that it's not efficient. So for me, as I can see it now, you have a very similar, maybe the same vision as we have. So it's perfectly matched with our expectations. And what I really like is that you and your colleagues understand the advantage of our solution very quickly. In some cases, with other companies, it's not so quick. We need to explain them many times until they understand the most advantage for the customer. And also, I like your mindset that you have. From a very beginning, you told me what you think that would be the good plan, how to do the marketing here, and other things, and I totally agree with your suggestions. So I feel that this partnership will be very successful. So I'm looking forward to our next step, especially the visit of our potential customers.
Absolutely.
So we can make other steps and be successful here.